Now, Chicago's been chosen to host the 2024 Democratic National Convention. President Biden made the announcement yesterday, and the Windy City beat out other top contenders like New York City and Atlanta. The event's expected to draw about 50,000 visitors and provide an estimated $120 million in economic boost to Chicago. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution wasn't shy with its disappointment for Atlanta not being chosen. The headline across the top of the front page this morning, "Say It Ain't So, Joe." Feature also includes an opinion piece titled, "It's Your Loss, DNC, and Nation Won't See What Georgia Offers." So let's bring in right now someone who does not agree with the editors of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. She is, of course, Democratic Senator Tammy Duckworth of Illinois. Thank you so much, Senator, for being with us. What would you say, not just to the people of Atlanta, but people around the table today on our show that said, well, maybe it should have been in a swing state. Maybe it should have been in Pennsylvania or Michigan or Wisconsin. But why does Chicago make more sense?
Well, if you're talking swing states, then Chicago makes the most sense, because if you want to talk to the most number of swing states in 2024, you want to be in the Midwest and you want to be in Chicago. You want to be talking to Wisconsin. You want to be talking to Ohio. You want to be talking to Michigan. Even Missouri could potentially be in play. And so it makes sense that the path to the victory in 2024 for the presidential election is the blue wall, is to rebuild Democratic strongholds. And there's no stronger Democratic stronghold than Illinois and Chicago. And so we are a great base from which to launch the messaging out to all of those swing states.
Senator, who tipped this choice, do you think? Was it organized labor as opposed to lack of organized labor's strength and power in Georgia, or specifically in Atlanta, as opposed to Chicago and Illinois?
I think it was a combination of three main things. One was the messaging piece in terms of the most number of swing states you can talk to. The second is the organizations. And yes, labor is very important here. In fact, in Illinois, we just passed a constitutional amendment to our state constitution last year that guarantees the right to organize, as opposed to Georgia, that actually is an anti-union state. And when you come to Chicago and you have the convention here, every facility is going to be serviced by our highly trained, hardworking men and women of our unions. And so certainly organized labor was a big part in terms of, sending out the message that the Democratic Party is a party that supports working families and people who are working every day and upholding the standards. And so union was definitely a big part of that. And ultimately also the fact is that we have the infrastructure here. The DNC is only going to be probably the third or fourth largest convention we'll hold in Chicago in 2024. You can be centrally located. You're not going to have to get on a bus and drive an hour and a half to a stadium. Everybody can stay right downtown Chicago. It's going to be beautiful, 80 degrees on the lake shore. And so everything comes together for us here in the city.
Yeah, I don't argue one point about Chicago and its beauty and its acceptance of everything and anyone and being able to handle such a large event as the National Convention. But one of the three elements that you just mentioned as a factor is the ability to talk to other states like Wisconsin close by. Do you really believe that has an impact, having a convention in Chicago, on people in Wisconsin?
Oh, very much so. And because we're not just about talking about, messaging to them. Illinois is already helping people from all of our neighboring states. For example, we are guaranteeing access to reproductive choice for women, not just for the women of Illinois, but for the women of Wisconsin, the women of Indiana. We have women coming from as far away as Texas to Illinois to access reproductive health care, not just abortion, but also infertility treatments, also birth control. And so we are already in the process of reaching out and coordinating with these neighboring states. It's why the governors of those neighboring states actually wrote letters to the president and showed their support for the convention being in Illinois.
All right, Senator Tammy Duckworth, thank you for being with us, and congratulations on Chicago getting the DNC next year.
Thank you. It's going to be a good time.
All right. Going to be a good time. Can't wait.